네, 시청자 여러분 반갑습니다. 오늘은 저보다 더 유명하고 아무튼 얼굴 보는 순간 바로 아시겠지만 저도 굉장히 존경하는 우리 모스탄 대사님 모시고 인터뷰 진행하겠습니다. 오늘 행사는 K10팩 행사가 있었고요. 거기 같이 이렇게 연사로 나섰고 끝나고 난 뒤에 인터뷰하는데 네, 행사 정리한다고 소리가 좀 들리네요. 지난번에 우리가 미주 한인 포럼 그 앞에 있었던 트루스 포럼인가요? 그때 아마 그 인터뷰하고 그 전에는 지난 뉴스에서 이제 한국 오셨을 때 인터뷰하고 오늘 이제 또 한 2달 정도 지나가지고 인터뷰하는데 그 사이에 대한민국이 많이 바뀌었어요. 불과 8월 초에 할 때만 하더라도 그때는 한미 정상회담 있기 전 상황이었고 그 뒤로 이제 그 백악관에 백악관에서 1차 정상회담이 있었고 그 뒤로 일어난 일이 9월 3일 날 그 이재명이 북경에서 있었던 전성절에 참여했지 않습니까? 그리고 그 다음 날 조지아주에 한국인 근로자들 억류 사태가 있었고 그 다음에 있었던 일이 9월 23일 날 유엔 총회 이재명이 와서 또 연설하는 일이 있었고 그 다음에 일어난 일이 10월 달이죠. 이제 한 달 지금 바로 이틀 전에 한미 정상회담이 있었지 않습니까? 트럼프 대통령이 이제 한국을 가서 물론 미일 회담도 있었고 한미 정상회담 있었고 미중 정상회담도 있었지 않습니까? 그래서 현안에 대해서 이래저래 몇 가지 여쭤보고 이렇게 하겠습니다. 어쨌든 첫 번째 당장에 여쭙고 싶은 게 현재 한미 정상회담이 이번에 이제 있었지 않습니까? 혹시 보셨죠?
다 보지는 않았지만.
네네.
예.
한미 정상회담 있었고, 그리고 당장에 또 황교안 총리가 지금 현재 체포되고 있잖아요.
네.
그 형사사법 또 대사님으로 전문가시니까 황교안 총리가 지금 구속되고 체포돼 가는 이 과정에 대해서 어떻게 보시는지 궁금합니다.
It's outrageous what is going on against Prime Minister Huang. He has done nothing to deserve a raid on his house. He certainly does not deserve to be arrested. I am proud of the Korean people who are protecting him and surrounding his house to protect him. I think that is very good. But to do this to somebody who has not really broken the law or that which is morally wrong, to treat him in this way is disgraceful. It is wrong, and so I think there should be protection of him in every way. Whoever can protect him should protect him. He is very brave. He is, I think, willing to fight and continue to hang in there. He's also a seasoned attorney, seasoned prosecutor. So I think he is able to fight better than the bulk of the people in the general population, and so I'm looking for him to do that. But this is a further indication of how oppressive and unjust the current regime is right now. There's so many things that have happened. I can't believe what is just, if I just think about what has happened in 2025, there's so much that has happened. I think President Trump was right. I think there was a revolution, and I think a purge is happening. If the Trump deal with Lee Jae-myung can transfer money from the CCP and to the leftists, and instead it goes to being invested into the best and strongest economy in the world, I think that's potentially good for Korea and good for the United States. It's much better than it going to the CCP. It's much better than it going to groups inside of Korea who are not helping Korea and are making Korea worse rather than better. It is also serious when you see infringement upon the free exercise of religion, the raids on the churches, the arrest and Pastor Sun being thrown into prison. I've been spending some time with his son and speaking with him. We were just in the White House complex recently. We just spoke to a CPAC Ending Christian Persecution conference where there were over 1.1 million live views of the panel that I was on at that time. So I think interest is growing. It was reassuring to hear from the White House Faith Office that a lot of people's input coming from Korea, coming from China, is getting through to the White House. So you can be encouraged that those letters, that input is getting through. And I also know that there's various good input in many ways coming into the White House from people that I know and people who are following and watching what I'm saying and doing. And so that is getting to the White House. So I don't think Trump is done with the Korean Peninsula. This is a step, but this is not the whole thing. And so I think there is more to come. He sent, there was Deputy Secretary of State Landau who went, Secretary Rubio who went, and this is an initial step. These are just initial steps, but Trump is not done with the Korean Peninsula. And I think there is more that is yet to happen. So I think the Korean people shouldn't think, oh, this is all that's going to happen. There's nothing more coming from the Trump administration. Nothing else will happen there. No, I don't think so. I think there is more to come. And so please don't think that this is it, that this one visit is all there's going to be and that's it. No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And did Trump forget what he said earlier in August in Truth Social? No, I don't think he forgot. I don't think he forgot. He called out the church raids. He called out the raid on Osan Air Base. He called out the revolution and the purge. So these are things he doesn't just forget things like that. And so I think you should remember what he said and know that this is not the final step that he's taken. Most of the Trump administration is still ahead. 1 year hasn't even passed yet in the Trump administration. And so most of the Trump administration is left. But really, as I've said all along, God is real. He is the main actor in all of this. He is sovereign over all of it. And if that is true, and I know it's true, I believe it's true, then if we place our hope in God, He will not let us down. We should not try to impose upon Him in saying that God has to do this in this timing and God has to do that. No, He's God. So we can ask Him, but He will do what He chooses to do in His time and in His way. That's very important. And if we don't trust that, and if we don't believe that, it's very easy to become discouraged and disappointed in the face of the situation that's there. But if we have our hope in God, if that's our anchor, and that can hold us where we need to be, then it can give us strength and it can give us courage to continue on, trusting Him, following Him, having hope in Him, and He will, in His time and His way, I truly believe this, will deliver and save Korea, and He will, I believe there are historic things that will come in the future. I think in the midst of these crises, there is opportunity. And yes, there are real dangers, but there are real opportunities. And I still look forward to the reunification of the Koreas, and I look forward to a Korea that will be stronger than ever before on the other side of this crisis. That is what I look forward to by God's sovereign grace, is what I am trusting in and looking to, and that keeps me in the fight as well. I am personally devoting myself to U.S.-Korean matters. I've actually let go at Liberty University. I was able to, by God's grace, there was record-breaking things that happened during my time at Liberty. But I believe God is calling me to a new season where I can really focus on Korea, U.S. matters, and for this to be my central focus. And I'm doing that through KCPAC and Truth Forum primarily, and trying to take the opportunities that God is giving to be able to advance truth, to advance justice, to advance righteousness in the midst of this crisis time.
그 다음에는 짧게 이제 두 가지 주제만 짧게 한번 여쭤볼게요. 황교안 총리도 체포되고 있지만 전에 그 손현보 목사님도 현재 구속되어 있는 상태거든요. 제가 알기로는 모산 대사님께서 손현보 목사님 계시는 그 세계로교회에서 강연도 하셨고
네.
또 세이브 코리아 집회 때 연설도 하셨는데 현재 손현보 목사님 구속된 것에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시는지.
Yeah. I believe he is a Christ-like man. I believe he is a hero in Korea. I did have the chance to join him in Save Korea. I spoke a couple times at the church. I spoke in the opening ceremony of the Lee Seungman school that opened as well. I've gotten to know his son Chance. I went with him to the White House complex, and he was there with me at this CPAC conference on ending Christian persecution. Yesterday, he came here tonight too. And so I've been able to see him up close. He, I think, is a pure man. He has integrity. He's very courageous. He's full of faith. If you just watch or listen to his sermon just before he was arrested, he was preaching about David and Goliath. And he is like a David. And he is taking on the huge Goliath of this oppressive state structure and all the injustices that are there. He is like a David who is standing up, and he's standing up in the face of it when many other pastors are too afraid, when many other people are too afraid to do that. And, you know, this is a man who, when he was in the special forces, he was trying to go to church and they wouldn't let him, and they beat him until he almost died. But not only did he persevere through that, he led almost everyone in his military unit to Christ. That's the sort of person that Pastor Sun is. He doesn't own his house. He doesn't own the car he drives. It all belongs to the church. Why? Because he wants to trust God, and he wants to be completely clean. He doesn't take honoraria when he speaks even. It's not wrong to take honoraria when you speak, but that's how much he tries to make sure that he's nowhere close to anything wrong along those lines. That's the sort of pure man with integrity that we're talking about here. He's a Christ-like man. And so I have been speaking out for him. I spoke on a session of Save the Persecuted Christians, which is an organization here in the United States that tries to help persecuted Christians around the world, and they care a lot about it. And so more and more, I mean, think about 1.1 million people at the CPAC conference yesterday. That's a lot of people. And that's not even including all the people who will watch the recording. This was actually just a live viewership there. There were various different leaders who were there that I got to talk to and meet with. And so Pastor Sun is a real hero, and he does not belong in jail, but he's very brave. He's losing a lot of weight while he's there. And, you know, as you can imagine, his wife is not even going home. She's staying at the church to pray day in, day out, morning, noon, and night, and to pray and to have a prayer vigil during this time. And so Chance, his son, Chansung, his son, he's taken all his vacation time. He has a full-time job with a tech company, and he's taking all his vacation days to speak out on behalf of his dad. That's why he's here. And so Pastor Sun is someone that I respect and admire personally, and I think he's Christ-like. I don't say that lightly. I think he truly is a Christ-like man and a Christ-like leader.
네. 그리고 그때 우리가 트루스 포럼 행사 이후에 직후에 미국 날짜로 9월 10일에 찰리 크크가 좌파 테러리스트로부터 이렇게 안타깝게 테러 당했지 않습니까? 그래서 사실 찰리 크크가 제 인생 멘토라고 삼았는데 제 생일날이었어요, 그날도. 그런데 그 찰리 크크의 죽음에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시는지에 대해서.
Yeah, I watched him speak at Build Up Korea before he was assassinated. And I was really touched by what he said and moved by what he said. You know, he didn't even get a college degree. And God gave him this vision for Turning Point USA. And for 3 years, he was sleeping on couches, traveling around the country, and doing what he was doing. And many times he's on college campuses taking on all the professors and all the hostile students and stuff like that. And he's listening to them, but he's also bringing biblical truth to bear, even in the face of hostile environments. And so God really used him powerfully during his life. And God is using even his death. Some people wonder whether or not this is helping to move America into a third great spiritual awakening, whether it's the beginning of that kind of revival. And not only in the US, but various places in the world. The youth in Korea who are marching and saying, "We are Charlie Kirk." Chon Ang-gil is like the Charlie Kirk of Korea. Why? Why do I say that? Is because Charlie Kirk woke up the youth in America. And Chon Ang-gil has woken up the youth in South Korea, I believe more than anyone else is. And the youth movement is so important, It can make all the difference on whether a nation falls or stands. And it's also the future. The future of the country depends on what, the philosophy that is in the youth and what they learn in one generation becomes the philosophy of government and society and culture in the next generation. And so this is so important. Charlie Kirk was so brave. He loved even his adversaries. His wife Erica forgave even the person who killed her husband, even while she was grieving. And as millions of people were watching the memorial service, she publicly was saying, through her tears, that she forgives the person who just murdered her husband. And they have young children. She's pregnant with their third child. And you think about this, and you think, this is grievous, this is terrible, but at the same time, God is using it to wake many people up. He's using it to bring people to Christ. And that's the sort of person who's sitting right next to me right now. And so I think it's appropriate to think of him as the Charlie Kirk of Korea. He has taught the Korean youth Korean history. And in this important moment in Korean history, he is helping to lead the movement towards all the things he was talking about tonight: democracy, constitutional republic, free markets, freedom of religion, justice, all these things that are so foundational, so important for society to thrive. He is a champion of these things, as Charlie Kirk was.
네, 저도 찰리 크크에 대해서 참 저는 많이 부족하지만은 찰리 크크가 남기고 간 그 가르침, 위대한 선포, 성경적인 기반에 근거해서 반대에 있는 세력들까지도 다 화합하고자 했고 대화하고 통합하고자 했던 그런 가르침에 대해 굉장히 위대하다고 생각하고 저도 많이 계승하도록 노력해 보겠습니다. 끝으로 오늘 귀한 시간 내줘서 너무 감사했는데 우리 시청자분들하고 또 대한민국 국민들, 해외 교민들께 인사 말씀 해주십시오.
Yes, I have a very full schedule up ahead. I'll be traveling under the auspices of CPAC to Mar-a-Lago, which might be considered like the Southern White House where Trump has a place. And then I'll be doing another one of these in Atlanta again, and also in Chicago. And then I'll also be going to Armenia for the first National Prayer Breakfast hosted by the Prime Minister of Armenia. I'll be going back to Mar-a-Lago under the auspices of the America First Policy Institute and having some meetings there. I'm also contemplating going to, through CPAC, Japan and Taiwan, and hitting Seattle as well, and maybe DC again shortly after that. We may be going through KCPAC to Australia too, because the truth of the matter is this is not just the fight of one country, this is not just the fight of one region, but this fight is going on all around the world right now. But I consider South Korea to be one of the important frontline places in the midst of this worldwide fight for freedom, for justice, for democracy, for fairness, for truth, and most importantly, for the kingdom of God and the gospel of Jesus Christ. I think that is most important. So, God is not afraid of anything, and He has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And He is the one who rules and reigns, and we can trust in that and come before Him in faith to His great throne of grace that He pours out upon us.
네, 오늘 그 갑작스러운 인터뷰였습니다만은 그래도 대한민국에서 일어나고 있는 가장 중요한 현안 중에 하나지요. 황교안 전 총리님께서 내란 혐의로 현재 체포 영장 집행하려고 하는 그런 이재명에 맞선 그 일에 대해서도 여쭤봤고, 그리고 역시 이재명 정권의 종교 탄압이죠. 손전모 목사님 구속에 관한 이야기도 여쭤봤고, 그리고 찰리 커커의 죽음에 대해서도 의견을 여쭤봤는데 너무 상세하고도 자세히 이렇게 친절하게 답변해 주셔서 너무 감사드립니다. 네, 시청자 여러분, 이곳은 워싱턴이고요. 오늘 K10백 행사가 있었거든요. 그래서 오늘 행사 직후에 이제 모스탄 대사님 모시고 인터뷰 나눴는데 괜찮았는지 모르겠습니다. 시청자 여러분, 앞으로도 또 모스탄 대사님 모시고 또 이런 인터뷰 나눌 기회 있으면 또 모시도록 그렇게 하겠습니다. 워싱턴에서 전해드렸습니다. 오늘 감사드립니다.
네,
고맙습니다.
네.